everyone. Today, I want to share with you a powerful concept: how small investments can generate big profits. In a world where resources are limited but dreams are unlimited, the key is not always about how much you spend, but how smartly you spend it. Let me walk you through 6 key points on this idea. When we think of starting a business or creating a new source of income, the first question that often comes to mind is, how much money will I need? For many, this question becomes a wall that stops them before they even begin. The truth is, money is not the only investment that matters. In fact, the most powerful investment you can ever make does not come from your wallet at all. It comes from your mind and your ability to build skills. Starting with skills instead of capital is one of the smartest and most sustainable ways to create profit, growth, and freedom in life. Skills are unique in that they cannot be taken away once you have them. If you learn how to design graphics, you carry that skill into every opportunity that comes your way. If you master public speaking, you can use it to build influence, teach, inspire, or even sell products effectively. Unlike money, which can be lost in a bad deal or wasted on unnecessary expenses, skills grow stronger the more you use them. That is why some of the world's most successful people began not with large investments, but with the decision to sharpen a skill that later became their foundation. Consider the digital world we live in today. Millions of people are building profitable careers by offering services that require almost no financial investment. A student with a laptop and internet connection can learn coding from free resources and soon create websites for businesses. A creative individual can learn video editing or social media marketing and start helping brands reach audiences online. A teacher can share knowledge by recording lessons or tutoring virtually. All these opportunities are possible because skills are more valuable than capital when starting small. The ability to do something well opens doors that money alone cannot. Another advantage of focusing on skills first is flexibility. When you depend on capital, you are often locked into a single idea or business model. If that fails, your investment goes with it. But with skills, you are adaptable. A photographer can shift from portrait photography to product photography for online businesses. A writer can move from blogging to copywriting for advertisements. A coder can transition from building apps to developing automation tools. Skills give you multiple pathways to profit without needing large sums of money. There is also a powerful psychological benefit to starting with skills rather than capital. When you invest in learning, practicing, and improving, you build confidence. You know that your success depends on what you can do, not on how much money you can spend. This creates resilience because even if one project fails, you still have the expertise to try again in a different way. Many entrepreneurs who lost businesses were able to bounce back quickly, not because they had huge amounts of money, but because their skills allowed them to rebuild. In the long run, skills also multiply money faster than money alone. Imagine someone invests thousands of dollars in opening a small store but has no marketing skills. They may struggle to attract customers. On the other hand, a person with strong marketing skills can promote products online without even owning a physical shop and reach thousands of people instantly. The difference is clear. Money without skills fades, but skills without money can still create wealth. So if you are dreaming of starting something new, do not wait until you have enough money. Start with what you have now: your time, your energy, your willingness to learn. Pick a skill that excites you, practice it daily, and turn it into value for others. Every great business or profitable idea begins. In the past, if someone wanted to start a business, they needed to rent or buy a physical shop, decorate it, and stock it with products. This process demanded large amounts of money, time, and risk. But today, the world has changed. The internet has become the largest marketplace ever created, and it is available to anyone with a phone or computer. Instead of building a physical shop, people now build digital storefronts, social media pages, websites, or profiles on online platforms that cost little or nothing to create. Using digital platforms as your storefront is one of the smartest ways to start a low-investment, high-profit journey. A digital storefront is not limited by geography. A physical store can only reach the people who walk past it, but a digital presence can reach people across cities, countries, and even continents. This means that your potential customers are no longer a few dozen daily visitors, but thousands, even millions, of people scrolling online. For example, a person selling handmade crafts can post pictures on Instagram or list items on Etsy and attract buyers from different parts of the world. Without renting a single square foot of space, they can run a business that is global in scale. Another powerful advantage of digital platforms is the low cost of entry. Creating a Facebook page, an Instagram profile, or a TikTok account costs nothing. Even setting up an online shop on platforms like Shopify or Amazon requires only minimal fees compared to the thousands needed for physical space. With such low barriers, almost anyone can start selling or promoting a service. This democratization of business opportunities means that students, stay-at-home parents, or aspiring entrepreneurs can all compete in the same digital marketplace as big companies. Digital storefronts are also highly flexible. If you have a physical shop, changing your product display or adjusting your marketing strategy requires money and effort. But online, you can experiment with different ideas quickly and cheaply. You can post different types of content, test various advertisements, or update product descriptions instantly. This ability to adapt quickly gives you an edge in understanding your audience and responding to what they want. One of the most valuable aspects of digital platforms is the ability to connect directly with your audience. In the old model of business, there was often a barrier between sellers and buyers. Today, through comments, messages, and reviews, you can interact with your customers in real time. This builds trust and loyalty because people like to buy from someone they feel connected to. A small business owner who answers questions on Instagram or shares behind-the-scenes videos on TikTok often gains more loyal customers than a faceless big company. That personal connection is a powerful form of marketing that costs nothing but attention and creativity. Moreover, digital storefronts allow you to showcase not just products, but also your brand and personality. People no longer buy only for utility. They buy because they connect with a story. Through blogs, videos, or posts, you can tell the story behind your product or service, making it unique in a crowded market. For instance, someone selling organic food can share stories about farmers, recipes, and the health benefits of their products. These stories make the digital storefront more than a place to shop. They make it an experience for the customer. Perhaps the most exciting part is that digital platforms offer endless tools to help you grow. Search engines, social media ads, influencer collaborations, and even free analytics allow you to understand your audience and expand your reach. With just a small investment of time and creativity, you can compete with businesses that spend thousands on traditional marketing. Using digital platforms as your storefront is not just a trend, it is the future of business. The world is moving online, and the opportunity. When people talk about building wealth or creating a profitable business, one of the most important ideas to understand is scalability. Scalability simply means the ability to grow without being limited by the same level of effort, time, or cost. A business that is scalable allows you to serve more customers and make more profit without needing to multiply your investment at the same rate. This is why focusing on scalable ideas is so powerful, especially when starting with low investment. Instead of locking yourself into something that grows slowly and requires heavy expenses, a scalable idea gives you room to expand while keeping costs under control. To understand this better, imagine two different people starting businesses. The first person opens a small food stall. Every time they want to serve more customers, they need more ingredients, more space, and eventually more staff. Their expenses grow almost as quickly as their income, so it becomes difficult to achieve high profit margins. The second person decides to create an online course teaching cooking techniques. They spend time preparing the course once, upload it to a platform, and then sell it to hundreds or even thousands of people without additional effort. The difference here is scalability. One business grows only by working harder and spending more, while the other can grow endlessly without demanding more investment after the initial setup. Scalable ideas often involve products or services that can be duplicated easily. Digital products are the clearest example. An ebook, a piece of software, or a set of online designs can be sold again and again with no extra cost of production. Once you create the product, it can reach an unlimited audience. Compare this with physical goods, where every new order requires raw materials, manufacturing, and shipping. While physical businesses can still be profitable, digital businesses carry a unique advantage because they allow you to scale with almost no limits. Another aspect of scalability is automation. Technology today allows many processes to run automatically without requiring your constant attention. For example, an online store can use automated payment systems, email marketing campaigns, and even customer service chatbots. This means that even while you sleep, your business can continue generating sales. Instead of spending energy on repetitive tasks, you focus on improving products, reaching new markets, and building strategies for growth. This automation is what turns small efforts into big results. Focusing on scalable ideas also makes your business more resilient. If you depend entirely on your personal efforts, say you are a freelance designer who gets paid per project, you may reach a limit. There are only so many hours you can work. But if you package your knowledge into templates, design bundles, or courses, you now have a product that continues earning even when you are not actively working. Scalability breaks the connection between time and money, which is essential if you want to grow beyond a small income. It is also important to remember that scalability is not just about digital products. Even in traditional industries, scalable approaches exist. A fitness trainer, instead of only training clients one-on-one, could create group classes or subscription-based online training programs. A local business selling handmade items could expand by setting up a drop-shipping model where orders are fulfilled by a third party while the owner focuses on marketing. The principle is to build systems where growth does not demand the same level of resources every time. The beauty of scalable ideas is that they allow small beginnings to turn into big enterprises. Many global companies we know today started with just one P. Urson's idea. Think of an app developer who builds a tool that millions of people download, or a YouTuber who starts with simple videos and later reaches millions of subscribers. What made them success? One of the greatest advantages of living in today's world is that technology has leveled the playing field. In the past, only big companies with large budgets could afford advanced tools, professional equipment, or sophisticated systems to run their businesses. Now, almost anyone can access powerful resources online, often at no cost. Learning how to leverage free tools and technology can be the difference between struggling with limited resources and growing quickly with minimal investment. If you want to build a low-investment, high-profit idea, this principle is essential. Free tools are everywhere, and they cover almost every aspect of business. For communication, platforms like Zoom, Google Meet, and WhatsApp allow you to connect with clients and partners across the globe without paying a single cent. For design, tools like Canva or GIMP give you the ability to create professional posters, social media graphics, and presentations with just a few clicks. For writing and editing, there are free grammar checkers, AI writing assistants, and note-taking apps. For project management, you can use Trello, Notion, or Asana to stay organized and collaborate with a team. These are just a few examples, but the reality is that with a little exploration, you can find a free tool for nearly every business function. The beauty of these tools is that they save both time and money. Imagine trying to design a logo 20 years ago. You would have needed to hire a designer or purchase expensive software. Today, you can open Canva, select a template, customize it, and have a professional-looking logo ready in minutes. The money saved can then be directed toward other areas of growth, such as advertising or product development. Time saved allows you to focus on strategy rather than being stuck with tasks that should be simple. Technology also reduces the barriers to entry. Many people have brilliant ideas but hesitate because they think they lack the resources to start. By learning how to use free tools, they realize they can launch without needing a large budget. For example, a person who wants to start a podcast can use free recording apps, free editing software, and free hosting platforms to publish their work. Someone who dreams of opening an online store can start with free e-commerce templates and integrate free payment systems. The possibilities are endless because technology has made creation and distribution accessible to everyone. Beyond convenience, free technology often comes with features that help businesses grow. Social media platforms not only allow you to share your products, but also provide analytics to understand your audience. You can see who engages with your posts, where they are from, and what they are most interested in. This kind of data was once only available to companies that could afford expensive market research. Now it is available to anyone with an Instagram or Facebook account. By studying this information, small entrepreneurs can make smarter decisions and compete with larger businesses. Another important benefit of free technology is automation. Many free tools allow you to schedule posts, send automatic emails, or track inventory without manual effort. Automation means you do not have to work around the clock to keep your business running. For example, if you run a social media page, you can schedule a week's worth of posts in advance, freeing your time for other important tasks. If you manage a small online shop, free inventory tracking tools can alert you when products are low in stock. These small features make a big difference in efficiency and professionalism. Of course, leveraging free tools also requires creativity. The tools are available to everyone, but not everyone uses them effectively. The key is to explore, experiment, and find ways to apply them to your specific goals. A musician can use free video editing software to produce engaging music videos. A teacher can use free online platforms to... One of the biggest reasons people hesitate to start a business or pursue a new idea is fear of failure. They imagine losing money, wasting time, or facing embarrassment if things don't work out. While these fears are natural, the truth is that success often comes only after trying many times, adjusting, and learning along the way. That is why keeping risks low and experimenting often is such a powerful principle for building a low investment, high profit idea. Instead of betting everything on one big chance, you can take smaller steps, test different approaches, and grow with confidence. Low-risk strategies give you freedom. When you don't have huge amounts of money tied up in a single idea, you are not paralyzed by the thought of failure. If one attempt doesn't work, you can simply try another without suffering major losses. For example, imagine someone spends all their savings to open a big restaurant. If customers don't show up, the losses could be devastating. On the other hand, another person might start by selling homemade food online or at small community events. Their investment is small, so the risk is low. If it succeeds, they can slowly expand. If it fails, they have lost little but gained valuable experience. Experimenting often is equally important because markets and customers are constantly changing. No matter how good an idea seems in your mind, you can never be completely sure until you test it. Experimentation allows you to gather real-world feedback quickly. For instance, a person who wants to start a clothing brand might begin by selling just a few designs on social media. By observing which styles people buy most, they learn what works before investing in larger production. Another entrepreneur might experiment with different marketing strategies, such as short videos, blog posts, or paid ads, to see which one brings the best results. Every small experiment gives insight, and over time, those insights add up to big success. Keeping risks low and experimenting often also builds resilience. If you try something once and fail, it can feel discouraging. But if you are used to testing multiple ideas, you understand that failure is part of the process. Each failure is not really the end, it is a step toward improvement. Think about scientists who perform hundreds of experiments before making a discovery. They do not see the ones that don't work as wasted effort, but as necessary steps to learning. The same mindset applies to entrepreneurship. Every low-risk experiment teaches you something new about your market, your skills, and your opportunities. Technology today makes experimenting easier than ever. With free tools and digital platforms, you can launch a test product or campaign in hours instead of weeks. You can gather instant feedback through comments, likes, or reviews. You can change your strategy quickly without needing to spend large amounts of money. For example, testing a new product idea on an online store is much simpler than stocking shelves in a physical shop. If it doesn't sell, you remove it with a click and try something else. This kind of flexibility is what makes modern business so exciting for small entrepreneurs. Another advantage of keeping risks low is that it helps build long-term sustainability. Many businesses fail because they grow too fast, take on too much debt, or spend more than they can afford. By starting small and scaling slowly, you protect yourself from these dangers. Each step of growth is supported by actual results, not by blind hope. This way, your business becomes stronger with every stage instead of collapsing under pressure. Perhaps most importantly, the habit of experimenting often nurtures creativity. When you allow yourself to test new things without fear, you open the door to discovering unique solutions. Some of the most successful innovations in the world came not from one perfect plan, but from a series of small trials that eventually revealed the best path. In any business or creative pursuit, one of the most tempting shortcuts is to copy what others are doing. At first, it seems like the safest option. If a product is already popular, why not make something similar? If a business model is already working for someone else, why not follow their steps? While imitation may bring short-term results, it rarely creates long-term success. The real winners in business are those who dare to innovate. Innovation is not always about inventing something completely new. It is often about adding a unique twist, solving a problem in a better way, or delivering an experience that competitors cannot match. That is why valuing innovation over imitation is crucial for building a sustainable and profitable idea. Imitation limits growth because it forces you to compete on the same ground as everyone else. If you sell a product that looks and feels like dozens of others, customers have no reason to choose you unless you sell it cheaper. Competing on price is dangerous because someone else can always undercut you. Innovation, on the other hand, gives you a space of your own. When you bring something different to the table, customers choose you not just for the price, but for the value only you can provide. For example, many businesses sell coffee, But a company like Starbucks innovated by making coffee an experience, a comfortable place to work, relax, and socialize. That innovation turned an everyday product into a global brand. Innovation also builds loyalty. When you create something unique, people remember it. Customers are not just buying a product, they are buying a story, an idea, and a connection. Take the case of Apple. There were many computers and phones before Apple, but the company innovated in design, user experience, and ecosystem. As a result, customers do not simply buy Apple products, they stay loyal to the brand because it offers something they cannot find elsewhere. This kind of loyalty is impossible to achieve through imitation alone. Another reason to value innovation is that it future-proofs your business. Markets change quickly, and what works today may not work tomorrow. If your entire strategy is based on copying others, you are always a step behind. By the time you imitate a trend, it may already be fading. Innovators, however, shape the future instead of chasing it. They set new standards that others follow. Even small-scale entrepreneurs can do this. A baker, for example, can innovate by creating unique flavors, offering healthier options, or delivering through creative packaging. Innovation doesn't have to be massive, it just needs to make you stand out. Innovation also makes your work more fulfilling. When you imitate, you are limited to repeating someone else's vision. When you innovate, you are expressing your own creativity and ideas. This gives you a sense of ownership and pride that fuels motivation even when challenges arise. Passion is easier to maintain when you are working on something original that excites you, rather than something copied that feels routine. Customers can sense that energy, and it becomes part of what attracts them to your business. Of course, innovation involves risk. Not every new idea will succeed, and sometimes it may feel safer to stick with what has been proven. But the key is to balance creativity with experimentation. Instead of betting everything on one bold idea, you can test small innovations step by step. Try a new marketing style, experiment with product variations, or introduce an unexpected customer service feature. Each small innovation helps you learn what works and sets you apart from imitators. Over time, these small changes can grow into a powerful identity that competitors cannot easily copy. History shows us that the biggest breakthroughs often come from those who dared to innovate when others were busy imitating. From businesses like Netflix, which redefined entertainment by moving from DVDs to streaming to individuals,